Course 5, Neuromotor Function and Social Cognition. Week 6, A Neurodevelopmental Lens, Putting New Knowledge to Work. The Week 6 learning objectives are as follows. Apply new knowledge and vocabulary related to social thinking through identification of the affinities, strengths, and challenges of an individual student and through identification of the demands embedded in particular lessons or learning tasks. And next, demonstrate knowledge of social thinking in the context of other constructs. Now, these two learning objectives will mainly be addressed by Part 4 of your learning activity assignment this week, in which you're going to think really closely about social thinking, but also about the other constructs in terms of your target student in order to identify or modify a learning task for that particular individual. However, in addition to the emphasis on social thinking, the main goal for this week and week 6 of this course is to put your knowledge of all 8 constructs to work. So we can now look at the system of constructs as a guiding framework as a whole, and then use this framework to support close observation of students and learning, and to make decisions for individuals and choices for the whole class. On the next 2 slides, I'll share with you a set of guiding principles that can help with adopting a strength-based approach to supporting students using the neurodevelopmental framework presented in this course. As I share these principles with you and go over the ideas that I'll present, I really encourage you to think specifically about how the ideas could come to life in your direct work. You may ask yourself questions like the following. What would this look like in my classroom? Are there ways I could modify some of my existing routines to emphasize more a strength-based approach to teaching and learning? And which activities or what kinds of tasks might help me advance these ideas and a strength-based approach? Here we go. So the principles on this slide represent ways to cultivate teachers' and students' positive mindsets for learning. First, by embracing neurodevelopmental diversity, teachers can closely investigate individual students' unique learning profiles, strengths, and needs. Moving beyond an exclusive focus on deficits, weaknesses, and challenge, teachers can help students identify their relative strengths and can support students themselves in gaining a deeper understanding of themselves as learners. With attention to both strengthening strengths and strengthening weaknesses, teachers can support students in building independence and a sense of personal competence. This really contributes to students' perseverance through challenging tasks and can also help students develop confidence and build self-esteem. Finally, cultivating interests and affinities supports students in identifying their relative strengths, and it also offers opportunities for students to develop expertise and skill in a particular area. For all children, but perhaps especially for those with significant struggles, gaining mastery of something in an area of interest is crucial. The principles on this slide offer ways to bring the lens of neurodevelopment into practice through a commitment to specificity and close observation of students. The idea here is to use your knowledge of the 8 constructs to make decisions about the particular scaffolds, supports, tasks, and interactions you have with students. So first, the principle of labeling observable phenomena, not people, draws attention to the unique aspects of individuals, including both those individuals' weaknesses and their strengths. Next, the neurodevelopmental framework can be used to help learners themselves learn about learning. This supports independence and understanding by identifying what's unique about each of us as individuals. Next, demystifying learning and learning challenges can be particularly powerful for students who struggle, as it's a crucial step towards addressing the areas of weakness and strength that will really matter. And finally, as we've discussed throughout Course 5, collaboration among professionals, parents, and students is vital to ensuring students have opportunities and support they need to build skills and expertise in order to be successful at school. So taken together, the ideas on these 2 slides represent a strength-based neurodevelopmental focus that can help guide educators in taking meaningful actions to support all students in the classroom and in their direct work. I really hope these guiding principles have inspired new ideas for you in your work, or new ways of thinking about the approaches and practices you already have in place. On this slide, I just want to speak briefly about the notion of being a charismatic adult in the lives of young people. This is discussed in depth in your assigned reading for this week, A Therapeutic Environment Called School by Dr. Robert Brooks. And in this reading, Dr. Brooks offers the notion of a charismatic adult. And that idea is about is an adult from whom a child or adolescent gathers strength. It's a very simple definition, but a very powerful one. This idea really highlights the opportunities educators have to become an empowering presence for students with whom we work. Through a classroom interaction, through a conversation in the hallway, as an adult who's involved in an area of affinity or relative strength for a student who struggles significantly in other areas. By keeping the notion of a charismatic adult in mind, we can all approach school as a potentially therapeutic environment that can build strength, build confidence, and be a source of inspiration. So for this week, you have a few assignments. First, part 4 of your learning activity assignment is due, so please be sure to review and consider feedback from parts 1, 2, and 3 to help you as you prepare this final section. In addition, we'll have a share out of the assignment so you can learn more about what your peers have been doing and more about their target students. So there's a link on the Moodle page which will give you details for the assignment, and you'll be asked to describe things like your target student, connections between your target student's strengths and challenges in social cognitions and the other constructs introduced in this course. That's all of them. And the supports and strategies that you identified to support your target student in the classroom. I didn't specify a length for this assignment, and it's going to be uploaded as a database, but I would suggest anywhere from a few paragraphs, a page to 2 pages. I'm very open about the length as long as you make sure to answer those questions. I would figure each question would probably take it more than 1 sentence, but past that it'll be your choice. And finally, we'll have a discussion forum in which you'll have an opportunity to talk more in depth about the Brooks reading and the idea of charismatic adults at school. I just want to thank everyone once again for being a very participatory, thoughtful, inspirational, and wonderful group to work with. I hope you have a nice couple days, and I'll look forward to seeing you at our last Collaborate session on Wednesday. See you soon!